so this is my final moments in Flint, Michigan. I won't be driving like this forever. I'm gonna show you guys something, but I'm almost there, so I figured that I would just start it right now and share a couple words with you all. So far, well, all in all, this weekend has been amazing. I love when I can say that. I love when I can go home and say I had a great weekend in Flint, Michigan. Sorry, I just got a message. I know that there's not a lot of people that are probably even awake right now, but for those of you that are, and those that I can see are joining right now, good morning to you, and thank you for listening. The event yesterday was really amazing. I got to see my friend Jeff and his wife and son, and so right now, hi Ben, excuse me, I just burped. I am driving down RT Longway, and where I'm going is, this is the old AC spark plug. What you see right there, that's the old AC spark plug. And I always go back here, you guys, because I don't know, like, the spot to me was always so, I was always so drawn into this specific place where I'm going to show you guys right now, and then I want to tell you a quick story, and then I'm going to bounce to another spot, and then I'm probably going to bounce back to Milwaukee. But here. So this is Flint, Michigan. This is Averill Avenue and RT Longway. This is the old AC spark plug right here. All right, this used to be a like a former General Motors spot, and then this over here is all a Superfund site across the street. And then there's some big weird stuff I've seen like in the air, like on Google Satellite Earth, but I won't get into that because it's a little bit weird. So someone very smart and wise once told me, do you want to win the battle or do you want to win the war? Because if you want to win the war, sometimes the battles, you can't always share every part of the battle because the battles are crazy, and you lose the faith and the confidence and the trust of people that are actually listening to you because it sounds so crazy, right? It makes perfect sense to me. But look at, do you guys remember, oh my gosh, I gotta get her out. So that's the old AC spark. Oh man, you can't even recognize this anymore. I'm gonna tell you guys what this is. But the one house is still standing, and I'm gonna tell you about this house here too. The house that's still standing. Once upon a time, this abandoned house right here. This is wild. Whoa, I'm gonna get out. My car is such a mess. Dang. Alright, so this place right here that I'm walking onto, this used to be the trailer park. Do you guys remember when all of this was trailers? Abandoned, busted up, drugged up, spray painted trailers? Right here, I used to walk. This is the drive right here. So from here to here is the driveway that would lead onto here. So this used to be what I'm walking on right now. All of this right here and straight behind me used to be a street, and if I walk straight down the street that used to be here, there once was a trailer. Okay, so there was a trailer that was probably somewhere right around here. Do you remember when I saw the miracle with the flowers? And that one video where I was right here on this road down here, and I propped my phone up on a log that used to sit in this drive, and I propped my phone up on a log, and I shared the hardest message I ever told anybody on this Facebook live stream stuff, right? And it was about like I started it with the protests and how they protested and how the people in Flint protested, and then General Motors, what they did on purpose, and how that was that Racer Superfund site that was leaking downstream. That was that video. And so that happened right here. But one time, you guys, when I first started years ago when I was in Flint, I was with my friend Austin, and there was a trailer that stood down here, and I remember standing there, I was looking at this trailer, and I discerned that the spray paint on the trailer was satanic. And so I was standing there and I was praying in my head over that trailer, and my buddy Austin was, he was standing to my side, right? Like, this happened right here. All of this story happened right here. I'm not kidding you. And so I was standing there, right up here. This is where the trailer was, and I was praying against just, you know, darkness in this neighborhood, that God would bless it, and so he's standing there quiet. I'm praying, and he goes, Karina. So he's standing like right here, and he's like, Karina, Karina, Karina. He said it 3 times, and finally I'm like, what? And I looked, and when I looked, I'm not kidding you, probably exactly where I'm standing right now is we saw this like thing. It was like, I don't know what the heck it was. It was like looking at me. I know this sounds nuts. This is one of those stories though that I don't care about the war part. I'm gonna share this story because this is my truth. And so we're standing here, and this thing is like this big, huge form. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just different shades of like reds and like these colors, like these red colors. It looked kind of like that. I thought it was like, I thought maybe it was like military. Like, when you see something like that, you don't know what to think, you know. And so I'm thinking maybe it's like a military operation. Somebody's trying to be camouflage. I'm like, but that's not a good camouflage. That doesn't match anything around here, that color, you know. And so the thing was standing right here looking at us down there, and it was like a big, huge form, and I could feel that it was looking at me. I could feel it. I couldn't see it. It didn't even have a face. It didn't have eyes or anything. It was like form. It was weird. And it was evil, and it wanted to kill me, and I could tell, and I could feel it. And I knew it didn't care about Austin. It was looking at me, and I was standing there praying against things like that, right? And then here's one, and it stood here, and it just kind of looked at us, and I don't know how I knew it was looking at us, but I could tell it was looking at us. And then, like, literally, I don't know how it went, but it went. I think it floated. I don't know. It didn't have legs. It was so weird. And then it moved, like, very conspicuously, and then it disappeared behind one of the trailers that were right over here, right? And so that was crazy. And so the thing is, you guys, the reason why I tell you that story is because spiritual wars, spiritual battles are very real. And coming here and standing here on this lot of land right now is like actually pretty emotional for me, because I used to come here and I used to pray and I would come here by myself, and I would just walk throughout the trailer park, and I would look through the trailers, and I would see memories of people and their lives, because it looked like none of these people had an opportunity to pack up their things and leave. This house is the only thing that's standing. This is the only thing that still remains of the trailer park. It must have been owned by separate forces or entity, whatever, right across from the Superfund site. And I used to come and I used to pray over this spot. It was such a, it lured in drug addicts. It lured in all kinds of bad things, right? And now it's gone. It's gone. The kids in this neighborhood, they don't have to look at this anymore. The parents don't have to worry about the drug infestations that were happening in here. It's gone. That is a huge, huge deal. Right behind me, that's the old AC spark plug that is now, it's like a auto auction. They house a lot of vehicles there. I feel like there's funny business that goes on. That's where I saw, there's on Google Satellite Earth, and a lot of my hours of investigating, a dead body. And what's interesting is that that's a highly monitored area right back here. Totally secured, all 24 hours a day. people always guarding. And this house here, one year I got really sick because actually the trip that I went in that house, it wasn't boarded up at the time, it was open, and I was here with somebody, came with me that time, and we were going through the trailer park, and that was when I discovered the bullet holes in the windows of the trailer park here that were here. There were like, it looked like some of the trailers were like ambushed because there were bullet holes that would go in to some of the windows of the homes. And it looks and feels a lot better now, Ben. Oh, David, that's cool. That's awesome. I love the work that you do. God bless you for that. Thank you for doing that. And so I went into this house and it was open, and so I went up, we were looking through it, and up in the attic I found all kinds of medical documents of, I don't know who she is or where she is now. I couldn't find her. I looked. I'm good at finding things. You know, if I want it, I'm gonna find it. And I couldn't find her anywhere online. I don't know, maybe she's deceased now. But I found her medical records, and I think she probably was homeless and staying up in this attic of this home. And she left all of her documents behind, personal things. And so I have them still back home. And it was just her ailments and her symptoms and her treatments and this and that, and it's very interesting because most recently it dawned on me, what if she was sick from something that has to do with the land here, and I have all of that truth, and you know, and she wasn't getting the help she needed, or whatever. And so after I left, I took that home, and the whole way back home I was a passenger this time in the trip, and I was looking, I was researching, going through it all. But that next day was Monday, and I got sick, and I couldn't go to school because I was sick. And I think that I got something from this house when I went inside of there, because I was like puking and stuff and just really sick. And that was the weekend that I got a knock on my door. Remember when I was telling you guys that whole situation with my children? That was the weekend that I came here and saw the bullet holes, and then I went in the attic and I found those medical documents of a resident here, and I went home, and I was sick from work, and I got a knock at my door, and that basically was the start of a whole new journey in life and chapter for me, because then I had my kids taken away. So that happened, and so and I used to stay, all right, you guys see that house right there? That house, the one right next to it, is the house that I used to have a bedroom at. I used to come here and stay in that home for, I don't know, about a year. I had keys to the house, and like I kind of feel like I lived in this neighborhood for a while. It was really cool to be able to have the opportunity. And so you guys, look at this. I saw the miracles here. Remember that? Remember that when I was standing there with giving you guys that message about the Racer Superfund site, and I saw flowers, and there was roses. There was rose bushes that were growing up out of this ground, and this is all toxic land here that I'm standing on. Over there's a Superfund site. Nothing grows here like that. Like, things just don't grow here. This is all Brownsfield type stuff. Like, this is new grass. All this green is new. They planted this because this used to be a driveway. This was concrete, so this is brand new. Okay, so this is fake. This is staged. But whatever, the trailers are gone, right? And then there was a trailer there's that one building with the phone booth over here, and then there was that one trailer that went right here. And I was over here acting like a crazy person, and I was like, oh my God, look at these roses, right? I couldn't believe it. Oh, look at these roses. And then I look up and I look over here, and and I run over here, and I'm like, you guys, look at over here. You see these flowers? I was like crying. I'm like, flowers. I'm like, this never grows here. I'm like, this is a miracle. This is such a thing from God. It was such a sign from God, because life was growing up out of this area that was so dark and evil and wicked. And I saw that farm thing over there, and a lot of bad things have happened here, and people have been murdered over here, and just really bad stuff, right? And then I saw those flowers, the first sign of life I've ever seen in this area for years. And now it's all gone. And so it's good right now. It's good because this needs to be gone. This trailer park is an eyesore for the people. This is a good thing. I do worry what next. a company from Milwaukee, my city where I live, where I'm going home to today, called Phoenix Investments from Milwaukee. They're the ones that actually own this land right now. I'm standing on top of this area that is owned by a company that I literally work like 2 miles away from. Very strange. I went in there too to talk to them, and I wanted to see what they plan to do with it. Apple, you'll have to refer to another video that I did on my 31st birthday. It was my golden birthday. I shared with you guys the story about my children. I don't really feel like going into that right now, I'm sorry. But you're welcome to go back and listen to it. Maybe later on I'll post it into the comments. But and I'm sorry you guys that I don't get back to your comments and stuff like that. I'm not ignoring you. It's just like I'm busy, you know, and I don't sit and I don't really have time. Like when I do this stuff, I gotta go right away, and I'm doing other things right after, and so the purpose isn't for me to sit and I guess do all that. I just want to get these messages out there, and when I do have time, I absolutely try and go through this stuff and read it. But yeah, so this is owned by somebody in Milwaukee, and then you can see all this area right here that's fenced in. Behind me is another Superfund site that is owned by Racer. So I'm curious to know who's gonna buy that one next. Okay, I'm gonna be heading to another spot, you guys, so please stay tuned. I will be back with you in probably 20-30 minutes. All right, good morning, God bless you. I'll see you in a little bit.